Hi guys, today I'll be showing you how to draw this Coldplay Head Full of Dreams logo. Now due to copyright laws, I won't be able to provide the file, but you can follow along in this tutorial to learn how to draw it. Please subscribe for this and more videos.
夢のロゴの完全なコールドプレイヘッド。
Okay guys, the first thing you need to do is to create a circle. Go over to your toolbar and select the Create Circles and Ellipses tool. To draw a perfect circle in Inkscape, you hold down your Control key and drag. We're going to duplicate this circle about 4 times. To do that, you hold down your Control key and press D 4 times. To make sure we have 4 circles duplicated, we're going to make use of our transform tool. We're just going to drag them over to the side and see if we have 4. For our next step, we're going to align our circles so that they form this middle part of our design. So we're going to enable our snapping settings. You'll find these snapping icons on the top in your viewport, or in other viewports you could find them on the right. You enable them by clicking on them. For our next snapping step, we're going to make sure that this circle, which we'll call our second circle, is going to snap with the horizontal axis of the first one. I have a screenshot that shows an example. This is what you want to see when you snap. It should display this dialog which says bounding box side, midpoint to bounding box corner. So let's demonstrate that right now. Do the same for the rest of the circles. That completes the first part of our circles. Our next step is to select the first 4 circles and duplicate them. To select in Inkscape, you just left click and drag. Now go ahead and press Ctrl D and move them over to the side. We're going to group the circles by pressing Ctrl G. Go ahead and group the first 5 circles. Now, the next thing we're going to do is to snap these 4 circles to the first set of circles. We're going to make use of the second circle and we'll make sure that it snaps along this intersection. I've got another screenshot that shows that. So this is what you want to see when you snap, and it should display this dialog which says quadrant point to path intersection. So go ahead and move the circles. Already our design is starting to take shape. We're going to duplicate these circles and delete one of them so that we'll be left with only 3. To ungroup them, you press Ctrl U. Go ahead and delete one of the circles. Make sure it's the one at the top or one at the bottom. We want to make sure these middle ones stay at the same place. Drag over them and Ctrl G to group them. Go ahead and make them snap to the 4 circles the same way we did with the 5. We've already completed half of our circle. For the next step, we're just going to duplicate the 4 and the 3, then move them over to the left. Go ahead and drag over them. Press Ctrl D and move them. Grab the 4 circles first. We're basically repeating the same thing we did on the right hand side. Using this second circle, I'm going to make it snap to this intersection. Our design is complete. The next step is increasing our line thickness, changing the lines to shapes. So we'll go over that in a minute. Now that we have our circles, the next thing we'll do is to combine them. Drag over all of them and press Ctrl K. Our next step is to increase the stroke thickness. To bring out the stroke dialog, go ahead and press Shift Ctrl F. Navigate to the Stroke Style tab. We'll change the width to something like 15 pixels. The next thing we'll do is to change these whole circles into a shape. We can do that using our Edit Parts tool. We'll select this option which says Convert Selected Object Stroke to Path. You can also press Ctrl-Alt-C. Now, we need to give our shape an outline. In Inkscape, you hold down the Shift key and select whichever color you want. Since most of this object is all red, we'll go ahead and use something that we can see. I'm going to select a blue color. So hold down your Shift key and select whichever color you want. For now, our thickness is still set to 15. We need to reduce that. I'll change it to something like 2 pixels. For this stage, our last step is to get rid of the fill. In this case, it's the red color. To get rid of the fill, you just go over and click this little box with the X on it. That completes the second part of our process.